Hello Gemini friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my For Gemini Eyes Only Gemini March exclusive report for March 2026. Geminis are walking through a portal into a new life this month. This is a very major time with an eclipse lighting up your house of home and family. Big changes affront there. And your place out in the world, your work, and your financial sectors are also being very much lit up. We're going to go into all of the details plus things to watch out for this month. This is for you if Gemini is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Gemini placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Gemini friends, so birthdays like June 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degree Gemini placements through the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Cancer report, as you very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. All right, so as usual, I'm going to give you a lot of important dates, so you may want to have a pen and paper down or near you to jot some things down, or you can have a re-listen, as I hear many people often do, just to get the full scope of what we're going to cover here. It will be a lot. If you don't want to write it down or you can't, just jump in another window right now to anniehelpsyou.com and click on Unleash to grab your free March 2026 star report, and that will actually have even more dates. It's a very, very lengthy report with lots of details about the best dates, the worst dates, and everything in between. Okay, so you can grab that at anniehelpsyou.com. Click on Unleash. All right, so let's just get right into it. We're going to cover a lot of this list that I've got going. And let's just first talk about the general mood of the month. To really understand a month in astrology, we have to talk about the many layers that are weaving together to create our reality. And we're going to specifically focus on the lens through which Geminis will experience these movements. This starts out as a very watery month. Mars gets out of fellow air sign where it has been and moves into Pisces to join transiting North Node, the Sun, Pallas Athena, Mercury in retrograde, and Venus all in water. So the first thing to know about this month is to expect the softer side of Gemini to come out. This is a very feeling-based, heart-focused, emotionally connected sequence of planetary movements, and it's opening Geminis up to intuitive direction. And intuitive is a very big word for this month, because as these Pisces placements or movements are occurring, they're also going to be making beautiful aspects with Jupiter, which is now waking up in Gemini's financial sector. This is your earned money. This is your material experience. For those of you who are focused on the environment, that end of the material experience, like getting your hands in the dirt, the farming, the making things with your hands, whatever your focus of the material realm is, Jupiter has been enhancing that for you since the middle of 2025. And this upturn or increase in focus, and possibly even in material possessions and in positive financial alignments, has been going since around June of 2025 and will keep going until the summer of 2026, or winter for you all, Dananda. All right, so we've got this beautiful waking up of Jupiter on March 10th, and you will start feeling that even sooner, but definitely by then you'll feel the waking up in your financial sector. So if some financial things had slowed down towards the end of 2025 when Jupiter went retrograde, what Jupiter was doing was building your foundation for future financial success. Jupiter blazes forward and just expands and grows and builds, and then every 4 months, or not, it's 8 months moving forward and then 4 months moving backwards, where it kind of does its checks and balances and says, is this expansion sustainable? Is the way that you're making money working for you? Is the plan that you have financially or materially going to be able to manifest? And what do you need to do to shore up the foundations so that you can build a taller skyscraper? And that's what Jupiter has been doing. If it seems like it's cooled off, if it seems like it's forsaken you, it hasn't. It's just been working more in the inner realms. You may have also had to do some inner work to increase your financial IQ or your consciousness to be able to accept in the next level of abundance that wants to come. So this is this financial story is coupled with this story of the 10th house, which is where the Pisces placements move for Gemini. So this is a very personal Gemini experience of the Pisces transits that light up your work sector, work, employment, career, business, jobs in general. But besides that, it also represents the leadership section of your being, of the authority, you being an authority figure, your relationships with authority figures, your bosses, you as a boss, stepping into a situation of more responsibility. And that's what's building at this time. People's trust in you is increasing, and your responsibility may also be increasing. And with that responsibility may also be coming this financial abundance. So there's this direct link here. For those of you who are not employed and want to be, this is one of the best months of the year to get information or move into a direction of getting employment. Some of the energy this month is still going to be a little short term. It may take a little bit more into the end of the month, into April, for things to completely gel, but certainly news and information is coming in. If you need a job, since we're in Mercury retrograde, you may do better going back to things you used to do, or a job you used to have, or a contact or boss or someone that can refer you, someone that you know from the past, or a contact that you made from the past that may be more fruitful than brand new ventures right now, unless the brand new ventures are temporary, a bridge to something else, a segue to get to the next level of where you're trying to go. But otherwise, there is this very strong inward and backward energy. February 12th started the pre-shadow period for Mercury retrograde. February 26th started the official retrograde, and it will be retrograde until March 20th. And then it will take until April 10th to fully regulate. So you see, all of this is occurring within this lens of the past. But it's like this whole month offers cogs in the wheel of the forward movement, because although most of the month is really us being on the shore as the tides roll in, having to be responsive to the things that come to us and really dealing with the squeaky wheels, the whole month is going to start moving forward. First, March 7th, from this Pisces flow, Venus will get into Aries. That's going to start a building fire party, okay? And that's a very different energy. Whereas emotion and the watery energy is not one that flows well with Gemini. You know, we all have all parts to us, and so it speaks to these different parts of you. But for your Gemini placements, this fire, makes more sense. It is more elementally sound. It's the voice of action, whereas the Pisces energy is the voice of reflection. So you'll see the movement from reflection to action throughout the month, of the past into pushing into the future. And you'll feel it, because this month is a hybrid month where this retrograde energy starts waking up and changing. So March 7th, we've got Venus going into Aries. That's starting sort of the forward movement. Then we have on the 10th, Jupiter's waking up. Jupiter's bigger than Mercury. So in many ways, you'll feel things starting to move forward, even amidst the mystical, magical, possibly chaotic and confusing sort of web of Pisces flow. And then March 20th, that's the next cog in the wheel. And as we progress through the month, by the end of the month, you'll start to feel things really moving along. The sun will get into Aries, things will start changing. But you'll feel the change. And if you don't have all the information that you need, which you may not have all the information you need to move forward, as the month progresses, you will likely have it. Also, the eclipse will be bringing in news about family, news about your housing, real estate, your inner world, your home. And something is coming to a head there. So this polarity of home versus work, of your inner world versus your outer world, of your nurturing space, and then your active creating, manifesting, sort of pushing out into the world type of space that you have within you. That's the polarity of what this eclipse cycle is bringing in. I'm going to get more into that in a second. I just want to, get back to this storyline of building. So eclipse news may be coming in, but you don't have the full story. information will be coming in, but this retrograde is going to make it where you can't see far enough ahead to be able to see what the implications are of the things that are going on. But you're getting this sense of change. And since 2024, the end of 2024, when this Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle started, it will go till 2027. So basically every 6 months during this time, we've got this welling up of new information in home, in work, new information about the direction that you're going in your outer world and your inner world, new introductions to the family or what your family structure or what your housing looks like. Now, for those of you who don't work or who are retired or who are independently wealthy and making money isn't part of your story, this 10th house very much still has to do with you stepping into your authority within something, healing relationships with your parents, healing relationship as a parent if you are one, and projects in the outside world. So you could be doing something with a community garden and not making money from it. And this is your place out in the world, you see? So it works regardless of whether you are in the employment sector or not. It's whatever you're doing kind of out there. So if you think back to 2015 to 2017 and 2006 to 2008, those were the last 2 times that we had this Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. And so the level of activation of home and family, did you have a big move in one of those times? Did you have a big job change? Did you move for a job? Those kind of things are the types of energies that are coming up for Gemini every 6 months from the end of 2024 until the first part of 2027. Doesn't mean you will move for sure. Doesn't mean you will have a new job for sure. But that there's something moving around. There's something shifting. And there's big news coming in this month. Now, definitely, if you haven't already, listen to my January and February reports because I go into more details about the eclipses. And also, there's a Leo Aquarius eclipse that's actually even in a better angle for Gemini that's occurring concurrently. So that February Aquarius eclipse is still influencing now. So we have multiple things that are going on, and that eclipse is broadening your horizons and bringing the story of education and teaching and learning and different countries and different cultures in. So you've got that layered on top of all of the other things that are happening as well. Now on March 18th, or the days around March 18th, we've got a sweet little spot with a 28-degree new moon in Pisces, adding to this sort of quiet seed planting and setting intentions for what you want your life to be like. That can echo out very strongly as you use this moon to plant those seeds for what you're trying to create over the next 13 moons. So as the planets start to move into Aries, they will, first thing that will happen throughout the month is that Venus will go and make conjunctions, which are the most powerful aspect in astrology because it's when the planets combine because they're staying right at the exact same degree. And these are wild card placements. They could be amazing. They could be very salty. They're good, they're bad, they're ugly. They could go either way or both ways. So throughout the month, Venus will go make a conjunction with Neptune, then Saturn, then Chiron, then Eris, then Ceres. And that's going to bring all of this Aries energy through the lens of Venus, which is ruling love and relationships and money and finances and design and self-esteem. So there's this story, this evolving story of the financial consciousness, of your love relationship, of your image of yourself, and it's bursting into action. Okay, so you're going to be feeling that. In some ways, you may be rumping around like a bull in a china shop because some of the energies are waking up, but not all of them. And you're ready for action. And it might feel like you're moving a little bit through mud, but you're moving forward, but you're moving kind of through this fog world until the energies regulate. And, as we get to the end of March and into April, it's going to be easier to make more obvious impact, but you'll feel it. It'll be like you're stepping out of a fog or stepping out of like a gelatinous bubble that you're trying to move through, where you kind of bust out as the month goes on and we get into April. But you will be feeling this fire. And then, of course, as the sun moves into Aries, all of this is going to be accentuated, and then the sun will go and make all of these conjunctions throughout March, and then April the same as Venus did. So there's a lot going on with initiation, with new beginnings, with, stepping out. And this is a very social aspect, or a social series of aspects, because it all happens within Gemini's 11th house of Aquarius, which is a very social, focus. It's social media, it's friendships, it's teams, it's groups, it's your tribe, it's, like-minded people working on a bigger mission. And sometimes it can just be, your people who you resonate with, that are doing the things that feel important to you, or that you have some sort of passion about. And so it's going to be, you'll be stepping from this reflective into this very active form, and joining with others to do things that can be really fun, that can be really productive, that can be really exciting, and really can actually be very innovative as well. And with all of the financial connections here, this also can be linked to networking or other things for money or work. The last thing just to remember is that we've got Uranus teeter-tottering on the verge of Gemini, popping back and forth here, and really still influencing in Gemini, even though it's popped back into Taurus. So all Geminis are in for sort of like a 6 to 7 year radical type of change that is very, very, very surprising to other people, especially if you're an early degree Gemini. From the whole house perspective, all of the Geminis are feeling some element of this. But those of you who are born like May 20th, May 21st, 22nd, 23rd, you all are really in the hot seat with this, and really feeling like you've got your fingers stuck in an electric socket for an extended period of time, as hopefully revitalizing change is occurring for you. But this is definitely going to need you to guard your nervous system more, because Geminis already tend to run kind of as live wires, and this Uranus placement is adding in new elements of technology and innovation and futuristic thinking and innovative ideas. And but it's a little bit of an unstable force, so you might be feeling that, and you might need to do more to stay grounded. In general, trying to plan anything this month is going to be very difficult. The more you can put things in pencil, the better. And the more you can leave your schedule flexible, the more you will be grateful that you did. Anything you commit to, try to do, as a maybe, and that will save you a lot of trouble of trying to back out of things when other things come up that you need to deal with. And also know the same from other people. It's going to be harder to get other people to commit to things or follow through with it, what they've committed. But this should start to ground out a bit towards the end of the month and into April. So if you need to get people to do things, that April 10th date is going to be very important. And April 10th through June 13th is actually maybe the most important dates to know, because this opens up our next period, and really one of the best periods for the whole year, of open stars, the tides going completely out, no personal planet retrogrades or shadow periods. So if you're having to make big decisions from the changes that are happening, if you're ready to put into action your biggest plans, your big purchases, your big sales, your big decisions, your big events, this April 10th through June 13th is going to be really one of the only, we've had very few open periods this year, because we've got a Venus retrograde towards the end of the year that's going to cloud a lot and, maybe interfere with some of this big forward movement. So if you've got big projects this month, you may be finalizing them to get ready to launch out into the world. And April could be an amazing launch point for that, especially as the month progresses and we get into that window of April 10th through June 13th. If you resonate with my work, please subscribe, click like, and if you want the written star report that I talked about, the March report, then you can go to anniehelpsyou.com and put your name and email address in there. Just click on Unleash and put your info there. And in the welcome letter, it will give you instructions on how to get that monthly sweet and salty date report. If you want to see personalized reports for the outer planets, the ones that move slowly but bring major themes for your chart, go to Annie B. Clarity, Annie, the letter B, clarity.com. And if you want to learn astrology with me, if you resonate with how I teach and you want to learn, either to help you and your family and your friends or to do it professionally, I have an astrology certification course that you can check out at beastropro.com, beastropro.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.